7.
And Beth Smith?
13.
Wow.
I know, right?
And Keith Clark?
8.
See, this is why Cameron likes this game, is that she gets better initiative rolls. Every once in a while, I glance at the Traveler DM screen, and I notice things out of the corner of my eye that look quite funny. Oh, that looks good. So law level 1, you are not allowed to have a WMD on the planet. that is illegal.
Against the rules.
No weapons of mass destruction. So Beth Smith, you see this immature pea squid that's all banged up, flopping around on the floor and trying to flop its way towards you. What do you do?
I gotta euthanize it with the auto pistol, which is safer to use than the Gauss down here, right?
Probably yes. Yeah, a Gauss pistol might poke holes in things that don't need holes.
Alright, let's shoot it. I rolled a 10. I don't remember what to add to it though.
So it would be your dexterity mod and gun combat.
So I got 11.
Very nice. So
Yeah, I mean, another D6.
that is an average success. You succeed normally. And so you hit it. Roll 3d6 minus 3.
I rolled 15, so minus 3 makes 12.
Ouch.
I know, I'm rolling so good.
Yeah, the pea squid is even more grievously injured. Keith Clark, you finish up working on the robo-diver and you kind of look down into the bay and you hear the gunshot go off. And you see that there's this immature pea squid coming for Beth Smith. What would you like to do? And you see this robo-diver hanging in the air.
Oh my gosh. So I have a laser pistol. I'm thinking if I shoot at the pea squid, it probably would be...
It's gonna end it, I think.
Yeah, probably be good.
Yeah, laser pistols are pretty good at that kind of thing. Until 11, 3d6 plus 3 damage, so yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
So I'm gonna shoot at it.
Okay, so roll 2d6 plus your dexterity modifier plus gun combat.
Okay. So I get 7.
Ugh, that is just barely a miss. Just barely a miss.
You don't have any gun for me?
Just 0.
Oh, okay.
Dope. I guess this is probably a good time. So, here's what you can do in your turn. And so, you can do a significant action and a minor action. So that's what you did. Your minor action was to draw your laser pistol. Your significant action was to pull the trigger. Or you can do 3 minor actions. So a minor action in your case was drawing your pistol, but it could also be movement. You can move up to 6 meters. So in a minor action, you could move 18 meters and really haul ass getting away from something or do something. Also, you can perform as many free actions as you would like, and of course there's a limit because each round is 6 seconds, each round is 6 seconds, so there's a limit on free actions, but you can perform as many of those as is logical. The other thing, and I think this is new for Carrie and Cameron, you can perform as many reactions in a round as you want. So unlike D&D, where you only get 1 reaction per turn, or per round, you can do as many reactions as you want in Traveler. Here's the caveat to that. So let's say somebody shoots at you and as a reaction you dive for cover. Well, then another bad guy shoots at you and you use a reaction to roll behind a concrete barrier. That second reaction, you would get that at -1 to your next turn's actions. So if you want to fire at the guy who just shot at you, you're at -1. So for each additional reaction that you take, it's an additional -1. So if you take 3, you're at -3. If you take 5, you're at -5 for your next turn. So that was you did a significant action and a minor action. The Robo Diver, which is floating in the air, I don't know if he gets some kind of save. Let's see. There is just not a whole lot that it can do. So the Robo Diver has a program skill. It has profession diving. Logical.
You majored in diving and diving school.
Yes. The Robo Diver is going to attempt and probably fail miserably, but it is going to attempt to break free. Wow. So it does not succeed, but Ching Shi, it is making it difficult for you to hang on to it with your telekinesis.
Okay.
You got, if I remember, you got an 11 on your telekinesis check. It just rolled a 10 trying to get out. So it could potentially become a problem, but that's okay. It's Ching Shi's turn. What would you like to do?
So as I'm holding it with telekinesis, can I also maybe, well, armor is +4. Say, can I also shoot it?
Yeah. So +4 just means that it's going to negate 4 points of damage. But it's already had the shit beat out of it. So that may not be a saving grace for it.
Okay. Then I'm going to use my use the shotgun. Well, no, because I probably need 2 guns for that. So I'll use the pistol.
Okay. Shoot it with your gas pistol. All right, so that's minor actions pulling it out. Go ahead and make your shot. 2d6 plus your dex mod plus your gun combat. And because you have it held with telekinesis, I'm going to give you a boon dice, so you have advantage on that roll.
All right, so that's 9, 10, 12.
Yeah, you drill it with a exceptional success. Let's see here. So that is an additional +4 to the damage. A Gauss pistol, roll 3d6 and add 4 to the damage.
9, 13.
Okay, so you fire off your Gauss pistol and it goes right through the little bubble canopy where its sensors are and drills this Robo Diver, and it just goes dead.
Sweet.
It stops moving.
Cool.
The immature piece.
Gently place it on the ground.
You what?
I can gently place it on the ground.
Okay. And the immature pea squid is going to attempt to lash out with its tentacles at Beth Smith. But because it has lost some of its tentacles, it does not get a boon dice on its grapple check. And it is going to fail, I believe. No, it does succeed. So, Beth Smith, make a strength athletics check.
Eight.
Yeah. So you are This pea squid has wrapped its tentacles around you. On its next turn, it's going to try to make a beak attack. And I'm sure that Beth Smith yells out to Ching Shi and says, "Hey, Ching Shi, these tentacles are a lot like eels." Beth Smith, you are grappling with this immature pea squid. What would you like to do?
What can I do when I'm grappled?
So, you could attempt to break the grapple, but you already have the auto pistol in your hand. You could shoot at point blank range.
I'll shoot it.
Okay.
Alright, I rolled a 10, and then I add dexterity and gun combat, so 11.
Wow. So you only had to get a 4. So you can add, let's see here. You can add +7 to your damage. The auto pistol does 3d6 minus 3 plus 6. Or, I'm sorry, plus 7.
Okay, so I rolled 12, 23, 9, plus 6, 15.
Yeah. The pea squid flops to the ground dead.
Take that.
So you and Ching Shi finish putting this wiring harness back together and where it should be, and Devin, you throw the switch.
Yay!
And the monkey throws the switch. Hold on here. You throw the switch and nothing happens once again. And it says failsafe, engineering support required. Devin, the comms come alive and you're getting reports coming in that the secondary reactor has now failed and shut down. Damage to the secondary reactor housing. Water is actually flowing into that chamber. You get reports that they're not worried that the reactor itself is going to explode, but all of the water getting poured into the reactor chamber is being turned into steam. So that will build up and eventually explode. But hey, it won't be radioactive steam. At least not yet. And that power is going off all through the lower work zone and inhabited area, and that things are getting quite dire because now the pumps aren't working and there's nothing to stop the water from coming in. It's not even holding it off at all now. Basically from the administrator, Sinclair, up in the habitat zone is radioing you guys and saying, now would be a good time to get the reactor working. All of you make an investigation check.
Okay.
Roll a 10.
Okay.
Do we add anything to it?
Yeah, be your intellect plus your investigation score.
Oh, I got more then, because I just added investigation one. So 13 for me.
Nice.
11.
Okay. What did Devin
I
get?
got 4, and I don't have an investigate, so I don't know.
So if you don't have investigate, then it's even worse. So you roll 2d6, add your intellect modifier, and it's -3. So anytime you're using a skill untrained, then it's -3 to the skill.
Okay.
So the engineer basically looks around and is like, I don't know. I don't know. Me and my buddy, when we used to build a lot of gaming computers, and every once in a while you get parts that are DOA, and you don't know why or which part's not working, so you put the whole thing together and you're like, it's not turning on. And so we came up with okay, well, this is this many gin and tonics kind of problem, and we'd sit around and drink gin and tonics until we figured it out. That usually didn't fix the problem, but it made us feel better. But Beth Smith, getting these tentacles off, you look over, and at the very end of this wiring harness, you see a large coupling has come unhooked. It's like basically one of those big industrial 3-prong power extension cables.
I can't hurt at this point, right? Let's couple it.
You couple it, and Keith Clark, you look at the screen, and the screen changes, and you hear, and this whole reactor starts spinning and comes online. And you immediately hear on the comms, you hear cheers, and everybody clapping in the background. They're like, you did it, you got the reactor online, hooray. Keith Clark, make a recon check.
Okay.
Oh man.
I got 3.
Wow. 3. So, off to your right, you see that there was a screen that was completely black, turned off, and it has come on and is initializing. It looks like it's some kind of sensor or sonar screen, which you think is a little weird, because why would you have a sensor or sonar screen in a reactor complex? And this thing looks like it wasn't a part of whatever the work crew did when they put in the reactor. This was an add-on.
Nothing good.
Make a electronics, whoever wants to, make an electronic sensors check.
I think I have something. Let's look here. What do you have? I have 2 in electronic sensors.
I don't have this good.
Okay, I'll look at it. So I add that, and then do I add intellect or something else? Or
It would be your education modifier.
education. So 8 plus 2 plus 2, so 12.
Okay, so you and Ching Shi come up to the reactor console, and he points at this thing and says, "This screen just turned on." I don't know. And you look at it and you fiddle around with it. It is indeed a radar sonar ping, and it's detailing that there is another lower complex beneath you down here. And you can see that there is a structural member that isn't just... when you first look at this, you think that these are anchors. But this structural member is actually a hollowed out tube that will convey you to this lower complex. And from what you're seeing, so 50 meters away from the base of Calixcuel, there is an underwater fissure. There is a big cavern. The most shallowest point that has been mapped, you were told, was at 1,600 meters. Now, cargo subs and whatnot, they have a safe rating of like 950 meters. That doesn't mean that they can't go down to 1,100, but it's fairly, everybody, clenches their butt cheeks pretty tight if they do that. This is showing that in this underwater cavern, there, whatever whatever is below you, part of it juts out into this underwater cavern.
Wow.
And you're finding, when you look at this, you're finding you can open up a access hatch and get to this this gangplank that goes down to this deeper facility.
Should I put on the VDO to get in there, or is it okay to just go?
It looks like it's dry.
Okay.
Well, I guess dry is being
Relatively.
yeah. There is leaks and water in there, but it's not flooded. It is pressure safe.
So are we getting a message that there's something to fix down there, or are you just exploring out of curiosity at this point?
So yeah, it would be just curiosity. You're not getting a message about anything. You don't, according to when you look at the reactor diagrams, this place doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's why I wonder what the deal is with it. So yeah, I do want to investigate a little bit, a cursory investigation.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Because why, right? Maybe we'll learn some secrets that we aren't supposed to know.
The secrets.
Yeah, that kind.
So you find the access hatch to this section, and you find that there is a slanted, not really, it's kind of halfway between being a ladder and a stair, kind of like a step stool that goes down probably a good 500 meters, and it is dark down there.
Only I brought some glow sticks.
Well, you did. You do have glow sticks. You can drop them down there.
Okay, I'll roll a glow stick down the incline.
So you see this glow stick drop down there, and it looks like there is. You can hear it when it hits the floor. It goes tink, and it lands on what sounds like metal grating.
All right.
And you've got your like dim vision goggles, right? Your dim light.
Right. Yeah, the like night vision goggles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Your light intensificate your starlights. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. So you guys climb down and you get into this lower section, and you're in a hallway. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it looks like you're standing in like a crew quarters on a ship. Very narrow hallway with sealed bulkhead doors, and they're all shut.
Wait, is vanilla like? No, that can't be it.
Yeah, no, it's not the Nilla. You're below the Nilla.
It's like instead of it being an underwater tower city, it was a rocket. So like.
Well, I mean, pressure bulkhead doors this deep below the ocean isn't really that shocking. I mean, especially considering that this thing shouldn't be here at all. But now that the main reactor is online, you're seeing that there are some like industrial lighting that are in the hallway. Some of those lights are starting to flicker and come on in a very dim capacity, kind of like when you turn on a old cold fluorescent. It takes a while for it to warm up. Keith Clark's, you look at this and you think these lights haven't been turned on in a long time. And some of them aren't turning on at all.
Is there any kind of marking or writing or anything anywhere? Or I'm gonna have to open a door, aren't I?
Yeah, that would help.
Let's do it. Let's open a door.
Okay. So you open the first pressure door that you see, and it's just a turn wheel, and you push it open, It opens fairly easily. And it is indeed, there are 2 sets of bunks in here and some lockers. And in the lockers, one of the lockers is slightly ajar. You see that there is a uniform hanging there.
What kind of uniform?
It is navy blue with red piping on it. And hanging in there is a holster, or a gun belt with a holster, and there is a revolver in the holster.
I'll take that stuff, I guess.
Hold on, and I will tell you exactly what that is.
Is there like a patch on the uniform? Like
There is. It is. There is on the left arm, or on the upper left arm, there is a gold embroidered patch of 2 dragons coming up facing each other, and some gold speckles that look like stars in the background.
I don't know what that means. But it's cool, so I'll grab it.
Hold on here, and I will tell you about this revolver.
So at least 2 of us are have served in the Navy. We don't recognize it as being of a particular.
This is definitely a naval uniform.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely a naval uniform.
Okay.
So this revolver, and I didn't put a picture up of it, but I will get one to you. It's quite fancy looking. It looks like it pretty much looks like a Colt Python. Colt Python comes in 344, 357, and 454 Cassiel. This when you pop out the chamber, the cylinder comes out, and it is loaded with the cartridges that are in there. The rim of the cartridges are painted blue. On the gun belt, there are, and this revolver holds 8 shells. On the belt, there are 8 cartridges in the Wild West gun belt. On the back side of the belt, there are 8 cartridges that the ends are painted red. And then there is, on the gun belt, you see that there is an additional cartridge that looks like a small fragmentation grenade, like you would load into a grenade launcher. And this, have you ever seen, on Firefly, Jane's revolver pistol? So, that pistol, I believe is called a Lamat, and a Lamat pistol had an underbarrel on it that shot a 4-gauge shotgun shell. That is what is on this revolver, and on the bottom part, it is loaded with a fragmentation grenade. And so when you fire this, that fragmentation grenade goes off, and it is forced out in front of you in that barrel, almost like a shotgun round. But considering that it's a frag grenade, it'd be a little bit worse. But Ching-Shi and Keith know that this would be what would be known as a mutiny cartridge.
Interesting. Are there any more clues in this area about what happened? There's no skeletons or anything, so.
Keith, make an education check. And actually, Ching-Shi, you can make an education check as well.
Okay.
If you have history, you can add history, but I don't think either one of you have it.
I don't.
science history, rather.
I only got 7.
Okay? 12. So Keith looks at this uniform, and you recognize, having been living and working on Calixcuel for a while, you recognize what this insignia on this uniform is. This uniform is what is the correct name? Hold on here. Let me find it. This is the Star Dragon of the Sindalian Empire naval uniform. And this would be an officer's uniform. So this thing's about 2,000 years old.
Wow.
Sweet.
We found a hidden chamber of ancient military.
I wonder why. That's strange.
So I assume you're going to take this fancy revolver with you.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I wanted to take the uniform too, so it's awesome.
Okay. Yeah, you can take the uniform too.
Maybe we should keep it a secret that we found these things. We'll have to figure out what to do with this information later, but for now. So with the reactor running, does that help anything with the partially flooded area, or do we have to? No, we have to take the meteos back up. But
It actually does. Now. So like, well, I mean, you're still down here, but with the reactor running, it is pumping water out of the partially flooded areas towards the top and towards the middle. The section between the reactor and the lower work zone is breached completely, but they knew about that ahead of time. That was like that before any of all this disaster struck. So technically speaking, you will have to take a VDO to get out of there, but you're still down here in the lower complex.
this place is spooky, isn't it?
It seems interesting. I think we should look around more.
Into another room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too, because we're gonna have to probably fight squid when we get back in the videos.
That's true.
And so if we find a fight squid with this hatch, I think we should definitely go.
So.
Okay, I'll be right back. You guys go ahead and here's that stuff. I was gonna load it out.
So you come out of the room. Well, I'll wait until Cameron gets back. Hold on. In fact, while I'm waiting for that, I will go get a refill. I will be right back. Okay, I am back.
So we're gonna wait for you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
That's okay.
Here I am.
Oh, and before I forget, I forgot why I even pulled this up. Hold on here. So, Beth Smith, that pistol, Keith Clark identifies that as a Sindalian officer's revolver. So the weird thing about it, it is a TL-15 revolver. The weird thing about it is this. The blue cartridges that are loaded into it are considered to be, let's see here, let me read it. It has two kinds of ammunition available. They're color-coded by type. Red cartridges are represented as hot rounds with a very high muzzle velocity and modest anti-armor capability. Blue indicates a cool round with a much lower velocity, which performs poorly against armor and lacks stopping power but generate virtually no recoil effect. So if you use a red cartridge, it has armor piercing value of 3. And it does 3d6 minus 2. It has a range of 10 meters. A blue cartridge also has a range of 10 meters, but it does 3d6 minus 4 damage. But it has the trait of 0G. And then there is the Mutiny cartridge, which has a range of 5 meters. It does 3d6 plus 3 damage. And it has the Blast 2 trait. And I can tell you what that means. So Blast means this weapon has an explosive component or is otherwise able to affect targets spread across a wide area. Upon a successful attack, damage is rolled against every target within the weapon's blast score in meters. Damage or dodge reactions may not be made against a blast weapon, but targets may dive for cover. Cover may be taken advantage of if it lies between a target and the center of the weapon's blast. So yeah, this thing is a grenade in a barrel.
Cool. Yeah, maybe nobody needs to know we found all this cool stuff.
You guys walk out of this bunk room, and you kind of continue down this corridor, and the corridor ends at a T section. To the right, you see that the corridor goes maybe 10 meters and then hangs a left. When you look to the left, the corridor goes down, and you see that it goes down maybe 20 meters, and you see that there's a pressure door at the end of the hall. Which direction would you like to go?
Left.
So you're going to go down to the pressure door?
I believe so.
Okay. So you guys get down to the pressure door, and you open this thing up, and you walk into a what looks like a control room. It looks like it would be like an air traffic control room. But when you look out the window, there's a big window at the front of this control room. You're deep underwater. And none of the computers are on.
Wow.
Do you want to investigate naval officers?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so Ching Shi and Keith make investigate checks.
I got 2.
Wow. Okay. How did Ching Shi do?
Are you muted, Carrie? Or yeah.
Actually, I will say both Keith and Ching Shi, you guys get a a boon dice on this. So Traveler has the same disadvantage and advantage system that Dungeons and Dragons has. So with a boon dice, you roll a third d6, you take the higher of the rolls.
I'm with you.
I get 4 this time.
Well, I'm glad to see that the dice rolling mechanic runs in the family. Ching Shi?
I got bumped up to 8.
Okay. So Ching Shi, you come over and these computers are badly damaged. There's stuff all over the floor. There's chairs that are turned over. You find a computer terminal that actually turns on, and you find that it is indeed a traffic control center, but not for air traffic control. It is a traffic control center for deep water submarines. And you pull up a cargo manifest, and it shows on this manifest that they have received 2 crates of part.
Are they 2 crates of baby squid?
They're 2 crates full of eels, really. No, there are 2 crates of what is described as Harrier parts.
Carrier parts.
And then there is a 3rd crate of personal munitions.
That's good.
I like guns.
And is there any like captain's log or anything like that to access like what happened?
Make a. Hold on here. Let me find it.
Electronics?
Yeah, make a electronics electronic. It would be electronics computers. So go ahead and make electronics at 0.
Okay.
And you can add your EDU to that.
Okay, so that's 10.
I mean, I'm assuming that you don't have electronics computers, right?
I have electronics, but not a specialty.
Okay, so what rank is your electronics?
Pardon?
What rank is your electronics?
1.
Okay, so you should have a specialty. If you want computers, you can have it.
Someone has sensors, right?
Yep, they've got sensors and comms. Let me look
So
up.
then, yeah, I'll do computers just to cover bases.
Let me double check that. Let's see here, electronics. Yeah, you could do electronics computers, so you can add a 1 to that.
Okay.
So
That would make 10.
So basically the way specialties work, so she has electronics computers. So that means that she gets to add rank 1 to anything that's computer related. Anything else that she does, if she decides she's going to operate sensors, she's at 0. Because she's 1 below. So if she got another rank in electronics, she could say, well, I'm going to take sensors at 1, or she could raise her computer to 2. Does that make sense? Okay.
Good.
So you are able to pull up you are able to find a series of files that are deemed classified.
Ooh.
You would have to hack into these. It would be a difficult check to do that. So 10 plus.
I believe I'd still try. Right? I mean,
Yeah, they're 2,000 years old. And what are they going to do to you?
right.
Blow dust on you?
I did not make it. Not even close. So.
What did you get?
I got, let's see, 4, 5, 6. I got 6.
Okay, so not terrible, but yeah, you don't have access to the files.
Okay. Is she like locked out, or can?
She's not locked out. It just denied access.
So
She's fiddle-futzing around with it. What does Keith and Beth want to do?
I'll try and hack into it at 0.
Okay.
Hey, I failed too. I got a 6.
Okay.
Wanna try?
I might as well.
We're hungry for the drama.
Yeah, I want to know what's going on. I got 6.
God damn it. 6, 6, 6.
So, with all three of you failing, the screen, it says 3 attempts tried, must wait 1 hour before logging in again. You're locked out.
How big is the computer? Can we take it with us?
It's a part of the table.
Never mind.
All of you notice that like everything in here, it looks very steampunk. So there's brass railings everywhere. Some of it looks like all of the buttons, like the big buttons, are made of faceted crystal with lights under them. The chairs looked like they were all made of rolled velvet with like brass armrests. It's quite opulent for what is essentially a traffic control center.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Keith,
So there's.
Keith, make a recon check,
Okay.
and you can add intellect to that.
Dude, get different dice. These ones have not done any good, and there's a bowl of dice right there, so get a new one.
Well, yeah. So I rolled 5. So yeah.
Oh, that's good enough. You find this
Okay.
on the floor, underneath a tipped over chair and some wiring and rubble that's laying there. You find a sword.
Oh, nice.
It is a blade heavy sword. It is. I don't know if you know what a schlager is.
No.
It is a long tapered sword. For most people, when they would look at it, they would think, "Oh, well, that's a rapier," but it's not. It's a long, straight blade that the end, though, the pommel and the grip looks like a cavalry saber. The blade itself is slightly oval and then goes to a very fine point. This is a Sindelian officer's sword, and you can see that at the pommel, or at the hilt, there is a little straight metal plaque, and it is engraved with a number of what look like ships' names.
Interesting.
If you want, I can give you stats on this.
Yeah, I'd love to.
So it is a Sindelian officer's sword. It is teal 15. Range is melee. And it does 2d6 plus 2. And it weighs 1 kilogram. And I will allow Keith and Ching Shi, you can make intellect checks to see if you know anything about this sword.
Big brain. 11.
What did Keith get?
I got 5.
So Ching Shi, you know what this thing is. So every Sindalian ship that was commissioned during the Empire had a small number of ceremonial but functional swords that were produced and made from the same materials that the hull of the ship was commissioned from. Usually one of these weapons was to remain aboard the namesake ship, but others were given to officers like the ship's first captain. If the ship had a patron or an admiral, they would receive one. And by tradition, these swords would kind of represent the spirit and honor of the ship, and they were usually, those swords were kept in a sheath on the captain's chair on the bridge of the ship. But other officers were occasionally given those, and the plaque at the base of the sword lists the names of ships that officer had served aboard. And so this plaque has 3 ship names that whoever owned this had served aboard.
Awesome. Wow.
Was one of them the name of the thing, Ryan? Must be.
Well, this isn't really a ship. This is a base.
Oh, okay.
But it is described. It is described as a straight blade, flat but slightly oval in cross section, with a little taper towards the point. The result is a slightly blade heavy feel, with much like a Schlager. As a result, the weapon can cut reasonably well and deliver a lethal thrust. The blade is not as quick to parry as some light swords, but the trade-off is an improved cutting action. Hand protection takes the form of a knuckle bow and a traditional small butterfly handguard, making the weapon easy to carry and reducing wear on the officer's uniform. So yeah, that's all you find in this room, and then there is the other hallway.
Shall we? Let's press our luck here and hope we don't die or encounter something awful.
So you come down to the end of this hallway, and there's another pressure door, but these pressure doors are double doors, and they're slide in and out. In order for you to open these doors, somebody's going to have to do some repair work, either engineering or mechanical, on the mechanism.
Go for it, Eve.
Okay. I'll do a mechanic roll.
Okay.
Hang on. Do I add intellect?
Your choice, either intellect or EDU, whichever's higher.
All right. So I get 11.
Okay. So you are able to find, using a mechanics check, you are able to find the gear mechanism for manual entry, and you are able to crank this door open. And you open it up, and it is a cargo bay area. Looks like it's probably in the 100 D-ton range, 100 displaced tons. Empty cargo area, but you see that there are 3 watertight sealed cases in this room.
Hey, the things we saw manifest for.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Thank you.
Great. And it was 2 carrier parts and 1 personal munitions.
So there's 2 cases that are stacked on top of each other, and then there's 1 case sitting on the floor next to them.
I want to look into one sitting on the floor next to them.
Okay. It is locked,
Yes.
and there is a thumbprint scanner to unlock it.
Okay, I'm going to use my electronic computer skills to override.
Okay, go for it.
Because that's 2,000-year-old tech, so it's going to be okay.
Right, but it is TL15, so.
Oh, no. Okay. Let's see. 8. And then I add EDU.
Correct.
So that would be 9.
Yeah, you are able to basically override this lock, and you open it up, and inside of this this crate, you find 3 what look like short little submachine guns, and they have the magazine is actually a drum that fits on top, kind of like an old World War I type machine gun, but they're short. And they've got an extendable stock on them. They're short like a P90, and these are what is referred to as a boarding gun. They are TL-15. They have a range of 50 meters. They do 3d6 damage, and each one weighs 4 kilograms, and a magazine holds 45 shots.
Oof.
They have the Auto 5 trait, so they can really rip out some rounds, and they are considered bulky.
Okay, wait. Boarding gun. TL. You said TL-15.
15.
Are you reading this
Yeah, do we each get one?
Yeah, there's 3 there if you want to take them.
All right.
I'll copy your sheet another time.
Their range is 50.
That's really good.
Damage is 3d. Kilograms is 4. And magazine is actually 45 plus 1. And I'll tell you about the plus 1 in just a moment. So these things have a undercarriage, a pump, and you would think that it would be a grenade launcher. It is not. It is a rocket-propelled penetrator dart with an explosive warhead. The dart does 60 damage and has the trait of Blast 2. And basically this thing can function as a shape charge for armor penetration or a blast weapon to stun defenders. It is guided by a laser pointer on the muzzle of the boarding gun, so that you can it will just follow that laser dot.
And what was the damage on the penetrator dart?
6d6.
Oof.
And it has Blast 2. And there are 3 magazines for these, so each gun would have 45 plus 1 ammo. The other 3 guns look like a tear gas grenade canister launcher, and these are what is known as breaching guns. They essentially operate like a semi-auto shotgun, but they fire grenades that are coated with a impact-activated adhesive. They will stick to most objects and contain a small shape charge explosive. These are called breaching guns. They have a TL of 15. Range is 25. Damage is 4d6. And they weigh 4 kilograms. There are 3 magazines, or 3 drums. Each drum contains 20 rounds. And for traits, the breaching gun has AP6, so it ignores 6 points of armor, Auto 5, and Blast 1. So this is a very Rick and Morty type of gun. This is something I totally could see Rick pulling out, and it just goes bop, 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 and you see where it hits. You see these grenades with, like, you know, rubber cement on the end go pop, 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 and stick to a door, and then you blow them, and they all explode and blow the door in. That's what this gun is designed to do. Who wants to open up the other crate, or other 2 crates?
I need to take a minute my friend's watching my kids and she's gonna go. I gotta set them up with some appointments, so I'll take just a couple minutes.
Okay. We can wait just a couple minutes unless, Keith, you want to open up one of the other crates?
Yeah, I'll be happy to open one of the crates, yeah. Sounds good.
So, again, it's locked with a thumbprint, but Qingxi knows how to open those. If she wants to make an electronics computer check, she can make that with a boon dice.
Okay.
Since you already know how to do it.
Let's see. That would be 9, 10, 11.
Yeah. So she comes over, she's like, here, let me show you how to do this. And she gets this lock open, and you open up this crate, the topmost crate, and inside, make an engineering check. So that you can see what it is that you're looking at. So you open it up and you realize that these are specifically manufactured parts. They're still brand new. They still have the manufacturing oil on them. They are parts that are specifically manufactured for a specific type of ship. And you got 2 crates of parts sitting here.
Do you know what kind of ship? Is it clear?
It on some of the parts there is stamped, and it just says for Harrier class vessels only.
Interesting. So these might be useful to sell, but we probably can't use them on our ship.
You could probably makeshift them if you wanted to, but they're probably pretty valuable.
It sounds valuable. How heavy are these crates?
The crates of parts, 2 of you could carry it, 1 person could drag one. You don't have to really worry about the 3rd crate because you already looted all the stuff out of it. And each of you are carrying that, so. Your communications come to life, and so Qingxi and Beth Smith got down here, or they came to Calixcuel aboard a cargo sub captained by Joseph Brimley. And you guys get your communications come alive, and it is Captain Brimley, and he says, I understand you're still down below. Do you need a ride up to the upper decks?
Yes, please. I don't want to do any more backseat rolls. So.
All right, I will take the Habley down and dock her with the lower emergency hatch. But please hurry. She's not rated for being that low.
All right, let's do what he says. I'm happy with all the stuff we've got.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Okay, so you guys load up your crates of parts and get up out of the back up into the reactor, and you get up just in time. You can hear the clunking sound of the Hableys. The Habley is a cargo sub, and I have a picture for that since Devin hasn't seen it. This is the Habley. The Habley docks with the cargo, with the emergency hatch, and Captain Joseph Brimley meets you at the hatch. And if you scroll up, there's Captain Brimley. He's got the diabetes, and he's like, I'm glad I got down here. Please come aboard. Oh, you have parts, or you have crates. Yeah, bring them aboard. Let's get out of here. I will take you back up to the habitat zone. And you load into the Habley, and he, as good as his word, undocks and takes you back up to the habitat zone. he sticks around because he's going to be your ride back to the starport when everything's said and done. But when you undock and come into the habitat zone, there are throngs of people all clapping and cheering and proclaiming you to be saviors of the city. And you are all invited to numerous parties. Everybody make a social check. You can make a carouse social check. If you don't have carouse, you don't have to worry about a negative. You can just go ahead and roll just your social modifier.
You got 9.
12.
Yeah.
And 5.
So Beth Smith is like, yeah, I'll go to parties. Hey, that's cool. But Ching Shi and Keith, you're like, you're kind of overhearing some of the conversations, and so Beth Smith's like, yeah, I'll come to your party, and you hear people being like, oh, well, my party's gonna be better than their party because she said she was coming to my party. So they're kind of like, all of these people are like using you as social stepping stones. Like, you have become a mark of prestige if you're hanging out with certain people in this city. And Administrator Sinclair Kranoff comes up and he shakes all of your hands. I don't know how you did it, but thank you for saving Calixcuel. You are an inspiration to the entire planet. This city is the keystone to us helping to eliminate some of our overcrowding issues, at least in the immediate future. And he looks to Keith and he says, you went above and beyond for your position here. I'm sure that we'll make sure that you have bonus pay. And that kind of perks up Beth and Ching Shi's ears. Do you want to officially hire Keith Clark on and give him access to off the planet? Hire him on his crew on your ship.
Yes, that would be so messed up if I said no.
Yeah, no, fuck this guy. We're just gonna leave him. We're gonna allow you to stay down here dredging in the underwater mines of this crappy city. My wife would do that. She'd be like, no, screw him, I'm leaving him down here. Yeah, you guys attend numerous parties. You are given the only the highest quality of fish byproduct paste and seaweed chips at these parties. And it isn't, you stay for a couple more days, getting liquored up and fed fish paste for a couple days, and then you finally board the Habley, and the Habley takes you back up to the Class B starport in of Chachiwalitaque. And you are met, I gotta find her name again.
It's Elise.
It is Elise. Somebody's been taking notes. Yes.
And she owes us $750K.
No, not quite that much. But she does pay you another 100,000. She does pay you each another 100,000 on top of the 100,000 that you already got.
But we did like a persuade check, I think, or more. But
well, the persuade check was, so the original.
3/4.
So she started at 50,000 total, and your persuade check talked her up to 100,000 for each of you, and then she's giving you each another 100,000 on top for bonus pay, and that means that that Keith, you now have an additional 100,000 to your finances.
Nice.
Now, this is a Class B starport. Being a Class B starport, there is one other thing that on the ship that you have that we didn't really go over. Part of your Scout class ship, and I will show Keith the Scout class ship. This is your ship, the Obi-Wan Jabrobi, it has a right here, number 6. It has a docking bay for what is called an air raft. And an air raft is basically an anti-grav car. It is open top. It is not armed in any way. But there is interstellar ordnance. So if you wanted to purchase, a gun to put on that, you could. I will allow that.
Yeah, that would be great. I think we need one.
Yeah, I mean, the air raft is basically designed so that when you land the ship, you're on a planet, you can take the air raft and go flitting around and do your reconnaissance and whatnot. So it might not be a bad idea to be armed. And let me find a suitable gun for that. Heavy weaponry. I shall look in the central supply catalog because that seems to be... Let's see here. So they have available, you could purchase from them to throw onto this thing on a gimbal, a rapid fire machine gun. It's a light machine gun tuned to develop an incredibly high rate of fire. The auto score of this weapon may be doubled, but the weapon must be left to cool for 2 rounds after this is done. The rapid fire machine gun may use the variant ammunition types found in the ammunition chapter. So you could put, explosive caseless ammo in it, the whole 9 yards. But this it would basically be on like a post mount on the air raft. It is TL7, and you'll want to write this down on notes, and I will write up the schematics for the air raft and get it to you guys. But it is just put down rapid fire machine gun and I'll know what that is. In fact, I will bookmark this page so that I can do that here in just a bit. And so you guys, you purchase this and have it added to your air raft, and you still have a week at the resort. Now, I don't know, Keith even knows about the resort. There is a resort portside that you guys have a week stay at. This is the resort, or this is the starport. It is a Class B starport with an accompanying resort. That part of that negotiation that Ching-Chi and Beth Smith did was that you get a 1 week, all expenses paid stay at the resort. So you get, gambling in the casino, whatever you want to eat from their fancy restaurants, access to the jacuzzi, pool, the whole 9 yards. This is probably the best life that Keith has lived since he's been on this planet. It's been pretty much you docked, found a job, and you've been toiling doing engineering work underwater for the past 6 months.
I told him about generic.
Oh yes, generic. So over here in the starport, there is generic steakhouse and bar, and everything served there is middle of the road. It's not really great. It's not really bad. Their beer comes with white labels and then generic logo and whatever flavor of beer it is. And then, last but not least, Le Traveler map. while you are at the staying at the resort, who has a carouse?
I do.
Go ahead and make a carouse check, and you can add your social modifier to that. And I will tick into the chat the this is the traveler map. That is where you are currently located at. Chachi Walidikwe.
11.
So you're 11. So Ching Shi, you are chatting around with a number of other spacers that are staying at the resort, and you are able, you glean some information, and one piece of that information is that there's some really weirdo king, and the guy that tells you this is like, he's a king in quotes, named King Oleb of the kingdom of Drynax, and he's a sector away, but you know, it might be up your alley, considering that you guys are in a scout ship. There might be some ancient finds or whatnot. This whole subsector, or this whole sector of space is completely rife with archaeological finds from the Sindalian Empire. You might go check out King Oleb in Drynax. He's putting out a call for he's hiring travelers for some unforeseen or untold purpose, but he seems to be paying well.
Cool. Let's do it. Yeah.
Is that the direction that you guys want to head?
Yeah, although shouldn't we find a crew first?
Well, I mean, you're in a scout ship, so I mean, you pretty much have a crew. A lot of scout ships operate with only one person. So,
Okay.
you know, there's that. But I'm just doing the calculations in my head here. How can you get there? 1, 2... Oh, wait. 1, 2... So it will take you 8 weeks to get to Drynax.
Okay.
So who's going to do your astrogation?
I've got it. If I'm the one. Please don't let me run this into a star.
Actually, it's more scary to not run into a star. It's more scary to run into the random black of space. At least with a star, there's something around you. But yeah.
That's true. Okay. All right. So 9. Do I add EDU to it?
Yes.
So that's 10.
Okay. So Ching Shi is able to plot her jump. It is a routine check. Who's piloting?
I have pilot 2.
Mine's 1, so can you do both? Oh, wait.
Yeah, she can do both. So Ching Shi, go ahead and make a piloting check to leave the port.
7, 8, 9, 10.
All right. Yeah, you lift off and have no problem, and your scout ship breaks atmo, and you are out into space, and you are heading towards the 100 diameter jump limit. So, in order to safely make a jump, a ship has to be 100 world diameters away. So if you, let's say you're leaving Earth, it would be 100 Earths you would travel to before you would engage the jump drive. But being Chachi Walidaque, well, I will roll just in case. Man. Okay. Who's operating sensors?
Me.
Go ahead and make an electronic sensors check.
Okay, so I rolled an 8, and then plus 2 is 10, and then if I need to add more, I should probably add my EDU
Yep.
or something. Okay, so 12.
Okay. You detect that a ship is approaching you.
So,
Collins is me.
You going to you're gonna hail them?
yeah, let's go then.
Your sensors check shows you that this is a it is a small free trader.
Cool.
Go ahead and make a comms check. Well, you open up comms to this free trader. What are you asking them?
If they are trying to interact with us, or what do they want? Why are they approaching?
Well, Keith, you're operating comms. Do you have anything to say on that?
Yeah, I think. She captured what I was going to say.
Okay. Comm traffic is no response.
No response. Interesting.
Sensors, make another sensors check.
I rolled 10.
Okay.
14.
Your sensors detect that this ship has a pop-up turret. So pop-up turret, initially when you scan the vessel, it looks like it's unarmed, and then a iris opens up in the top and a turret comes up, and it is armed with 2 pulse lasers that have gone online.
Alright. So we can either take evasive action or fire on them, right?
That's basically, yeah, that's pretty much it. So everybody, hold on here.
Shields.
You don't have shields.
That's not great planning on our part.
Okay, so I guess I'll change D to start evading, and who would man like the weapons system, I wonder. Like,
Okay. Hold that thought for just a moment. I will be right back.
This is our first spaceship battle, so I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
Because I have gunner for turret and artillery,
Hey,
but I'm also flying.
Mine is just here.
yeah, that's cool. But she's piloting, so.
Yeah, I do both. Or maybe I can one of them.
Do you want me to gun the field select versus how? Okay. I'll just tell you, so. Thank you, Lynn.
Okay, so being captain of the ship, I would assume that Beth would have this, but maybe not. Does anybody have tactics naval?
I do.
Okay. Go ahead and make a tactics naval check.
Captain, do you have it?
I don't think I do, but I'll double check. Oh. Okay.
As long as somebody knows what they're doing.
So
This-
10, 11, and then do I add anything beyond
You would add your intellect or EDU, your choice.
13?
Okay. So 13. Wow, that's pretty good. So everybody roll initiative, and because of her tactics check, you can add +5 on top of that to your initiative.
Yeah. 9, 8,
So, sorry. Qingxi, what'd you get?
8.
And Beth Smith?
I got a 9, and Keith stepped away 1 sec. He'll be right back.
Okay. This cracks me up too. Law level 0. No restrictions. Heavy armor and a handy weapon is recommended. Let's go there.
I got 12.
So 17.
You got 17?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I rolled 12.
Wow. Okay. So, in space combat, so a regular normal round takes 6 seconds for a round to go by. In space, it's 6 minutes. And the reason for this is just the vast distances available in space. The range isn't calculated in meters, it's in range bands. So this guy is at long range, 51 to 250 meters. And as a free action, he fires, you see laser shots, pulse lasers, over your bow. And he radios and says, Obi-Wan Jabrobi, power down your engines and prepare to be boarded. What do you want to do, Keith? Now, you could, being a comms operator, you could try jamming his radio communications, just be a dick and just fill the entire area with static. I'm sorry, prank caller, prank caller.
I like that idea a lot, actually. Let's see. Or we could attack. What kind of ship are we looking at here?
So it is just a free trader. It looks fairly unremarkable, except for the fact that you know that this free trader has pop-up turrets.
Yeah.
So a ship can have 1 turret per 100 tons. This free trader has 2.
Wow. Okay. And we have a double turret.
Yep.
On ours.
And there are 2 beam lasers in the turret.
Okay.
So if Qingxi is piloting, who are we going to have gunning?
My gunner is 0.
That's better. Oh, wait, is that better than mine? Let me check. I have 1,
1, yeah.
so I'll go.
Okay, so you will operate the gun turret. So it is going to be Qing Shi's job to maneuver and make sure the ship is in the correct position or do evasive maneuvers to avoid getting hit. And then, so that kind of leaves Keith Clark to do communications and sensors. Your sensors check could possibly give a bonus to the gunner.
Okay.
But it depends on what you want to do. If you want to fill the air with static, and as a big FU to this guy shooting at you, I mean, you could.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what if he's calling somebody to help him?
Yeah, that's not good either. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Let's jam him.
Okay, go ahead and make an electronics comms check.
Okay. And do I add my intellect or
You would let
education?
your EDU.
Medium. Okay. So I got 10.
Okay. So yeah, you just open up everything and run all the sliders on the soundboard to the top, and everything coming out is just static and garbled, unless this guy can find a way to break through the frequency. Beth Smith, what would you like to do? He is at long range, which says he is anywhere between 51 and 250 meters away. 250 meters in space is pretty damn close.
Let's fire on him. Nobody messes with you for me.
Go for it.
So I roll and then I add the gunner skill, and do I add anything else?
And your dex.
Dexterity plus 0. So I rolled 8.
That is a hit.
Sweet.
So roll 2d6 because you have two beam lasers that are 1d6 each.
I roll 3.
Okay, let's see here. Well, he takes 1 point of damage. You see you turn this turret and fire these beam lasers, and you see these two lasers score a nice mark across his hull. Qing Shi, you have a couple of options here. You can increase your range band, you can get closer to him, or you can take evasive action.
What do you think, Captain?
I don't want to be any closer.
Okay, do we want to just focus on defense? At a certain point, if it looks like we're going to lose, I say we cut the engines, and then as they try and board us, we use our breach.
So if you wanted to increase the range, you could, and you could burn your thrust, which on this ship, you have thrust 2. So if you wanted to, for your turn, you could blast out of there and increase the range band by 2. So you could get to distant range and basically blast out of there and increase the range from 250 meters to 5,000 meters.
Yeah.
Which is going to make his shots at you difficult.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. All right. The pirate trader also increases speed, but he only has a thrust of 1G. So here's the thing. So Qing Shi is like, okay, travelers, hang on, and she floors the speed on the ship, and you guys are basically pushed into your chairs because you're now doing 2G of thrust. And the pirate trader, he tries to catch up, but he only has 1G of thrust, so he's at very long range of 500 meters. And he's going to take a shot at difficult. And he gets it with a 12. But it's only an average success. So he does... So there's 12 points of damage. You have Crystal Iron Armor 4, which ignores the first 4 points. So the ship takes 8 points of damage directly to the hull. I will let the engineer roll. No, never mind. 10. He damages your jump drive.
God damn it.
Keith Clark, what would you like to do? So here you could leave your station on the bridge and leave. Just you've already jammed everything. You could run back to engineering and try to start fixing shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't think I'm going to be helpful otherwise.
Okay, so you can use 3 minor actions and book it from the bridge to get back to engineering, which is back in this section back here. Okay, that's what you're doing. Beth Smith, what do you want to do? He is at long range, so it's going to be a difficult shot to hit him.
Well, he hit me, so...
If he can do it, I can do it.
Yeah. Okay. 10, 11.
Yeah, you hit. Go ahead and roll 2d6 for damage.
Alright, I rolled 6 this time, so yeah, that's way better than before.
Roll 2d6.
Again? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. And 6 again.
So your shot is good enough, you burn off some of his armor. So he now only has Crystal Iron Armor 1 rating. You have burned some of it off, and it just... You see parts of his ship melt and burst into space.
Good.
Ching Shi, what would you like to do? Do you want to continue to pour on the thrust?
Well, I mean, are we trying to leave?
So if you get far enough away, and if Keith is able to repair the J drive, you can make your jump and just get away from this guy entirely.
Okay, that's what we want to do.
I think so.
Yeah.
But
So here's an option.
I can tell it's the pirate in me. I'm like,
I'm dry. And
is 9. Sweet.
yeah, and I wanted to actually do this with my computer. I actually wanted to put tubes on the back that would eject Monster Energy drink directly into my nervous system. I mean, it's probably not a good idea, but... so she pours on the fuel. Keith, make a dexterity check.
Okay.
Oh, he wasn't in his couch.
Right.
8. I got 8.
Okay, yeah, you succeed. You're able to grab onto something, and like you just feel like... So the ship has anti-grav, or rather gravitic plating in the ship, but you're at 3G. No matter what you're doing, there's going to be some turmoil, and you feel like your knees are getting sucked into the floor plates as the ship pours on extra speed, and you make it into the engineering compartment. The trader, the pirate, he's not able to maintain, and he is now at distant range, but that's going to make him at very difficult. He's going to try and make a shot anyways. He does hit with an 11. Oh, I'm sorry, no. He does not hit with an 11. He misses. He's one shy of hitting. So he misses. You can see these pulse lasers shoot over you. Keith, you are in the engineering compartment, and you can see a shower of sparks and some steam coming out of the J drive. Go ahead and you can make your engineering J drive skill check with your EDU modifier.
Okay. Get 12.
Yeah, you are able to piece this thing together. So the question then, okay, so you are able to get the J drive operating, more duct tape and staples, and probably a couple of paper clips, but you are able to get this thing operating, and the lights on Ching Shi's board go to green. Beth Smith, you want to make another shot? You are at very difficult 12 plus to hit.
Okay, sure. I mean, it doesn't cost me anything.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
So one of the side effects when Ching Shi poured on the power, she diverted power. So like right now the all the lights in here are dimmed or turned off. Like there's no microwave available in the galley. The life support is working at nominal capacity, so she's pouring out all of this extraneous stuff into the engines. So what did you get, Beth?
I didn't make it. I got an 8.
Okay, so yeah, you fire wide. Ching Shi, you could activate the jump drive.
Okay.
But you're at -1 to that roll because you are not outside the 100 diameter radius, but you could jump now with -1 to your roll if you wanted to.
Well, what if I don't make it? We just go around another round of combat and I can try again? Or is it like if I don't make it, then we fall out of the sky?
Yes. If you don't make it, depending on how bad, you could suffer a miss jump. But it's only -1.
Yeah, famous last words. It'll be fine. Don't worry about
I mean, sometimes jumping through space is dangerous.
Yeah, go figure. Alright, well, I convey those odds to my captain, and I make my captain decide, because I am at this point in my post-naval career still respectful of chain of command.
The pirates are probably going to come after us still, so we either jump or stay and fight. Any strong opinions?
The captain's asking for a vote. I like this boat.
Jumping.
Yeah, let's jump. Well, I don't want to move me, right?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Well, it's only you and X2, so.
Yeah, you could probably win.
All right, so she says jump. Ching Shi, make a engineering jump drive check. You can add your EDU and your engineering jump drive score. Do you not have?
I have engineering 0.
So then maybe if that's the order, then you can call to Keith Clark and say, hey, throw the switch. And
I'm gonna tell Keith to do it.
okay, Keith, make your engineering jump drive check.
And I'm in 12.
You made it.
Yeah.
You made it. So the ship jumps And what happens in a jump, the way a jump drive works is it actually creates an artificial bubble around the ship and injects it with hydrogen, and it creates a pocket universe that only consists of your ship and you. And when that happens, you are in jump space, and it takes 1 week to travel and exit jump space. And then the bubble decays and you exit into real space. And it doesn't matter how far you jump. So this ship has jumped 2. You have jumped 2 parsecs, or will have jumped 2 parsecs in that 1 week period. A parsec being 3.162 light years, I believe. So you jumped 2 of those. And you have begun your journey, and we will pick that up next time.
Sweet.
Yay! Yeah.
Yeah, that's good though.
So before we break, you guys, I am using the alternate rules out of the Traveler Companion. All 3 of you, even though this was Devin's first time, all of you get 1 skill point. And I will tell you how you can spend this. Give me just a second. Alternate Traveler Creation. Maybe that's where it's at. Hold on here. They have alternate character creation in here too. We could have just said, if you want to make characters really quick, we can just go, oh, well, you know, Keith is a colonist and he gets all of these skills and that's it. Done. There you go. You're ready to you are ready to play. I find that those are more useful for like creating NPCs, but that's just me. Let's see. Here we go. That's point by creation. Sorry. Training and expertise, 38. There's some additional careers in here too, like the truther. That guy wasn't born on that planet. He was born on another planet. He can't be emperor. Okay, so power values, characteristics. Here we go. So you all gain 1 skill point. If you want to spend that skill point, if a skill is 0, it costs 1 skill point to raise that skill to 1. If the skill is 1, it costs 1 skill point to raise that skill to 2. If you want to increase a characteristic, so one of your 6 stats, from 1 to 2. But keep in mind, you can't skill rolls. Jack of all trades do.
Yeah, 1.
If I do it, it'll be 2 now, I think.
Okay. Instead of 0, it's 1.
Awesome, yeah.
I'd like to increase my engineer for the jump drive from 1 to 2.
Yeah, do that.
Right on.
There we go.
All right. So we will pick this up pretty much with our Wednesday night game. That may be a couple of weeks because I kind of want to give the other 2 groups to see if there's anybody that wants to join. but I want to give them a chance to play through their one-off so that they can decide whether or not that's something they want to do. Does that make sense? And so I will, we will just continue to use the Traveler Facebook Messenger group, and I will let you guys know when that is going to happen, but it's going to be fairly soon. But yeah, give me a couple weeks. Might be as long as a month. And we will pick up with you guys approaching Drainax.
Sweet.
Yay.
Okay, I'll see you guys then.
All right.
All right.
I will talk to you guys soon. I hope you guys enjoyed playing Traveler.
Okay.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yep.